Welcome to the lesson on probability. We're going to be looking today at impossible, unlikely, as likely as not, likely or certain. We're also going to be looking at putting probability on a number line. You have your notes page in front of you. I've got the questions that you're going to be looking at, and let's make sure you're filling out those notes carefully. So we can express probability in a lot of different ways. A fraction, a decimal, a percent. We can say impossible, unlikely, as likely as not, likely, or certain. We can even put probability on a number line. And that's what we're going to do. Question 1. This year has 12 months. Is it impossible? Is it unlikely? Let's put probability on the number line also. On our number line, 0 is impossible. If it's impossible, the likelihood is 0 out of 1. If it's unlikely, that means it is less than 50% of the time. If it's likely, greater than 50% of the time, whatever the thing I'm looking at, hoping it's going to come true, is going to happen more than 50% of the time. And if it is absolutely certain to happen, that means it's going to happen 1 out of 1 times or 100% of the time. And down here at the other end is 0% of the time. It will never happen. So a year has 12 months. Every single year has 2 months. It is certain that every year will have 12 months. 100% of every year has 12 months. So where are we going to put that on the number line? Right here. It is certain. So on your number line, can you make sure, maybe not an X? So where are we going to mark this on the number line? We're going to mark it at certain. Put a nice big dot on certain. Number 2, what is the probability that you win the lottery? Well, I don't know exactly what the odds are, but I know it's something like 1 out of many millions of chances. So while it's not impossible, because people do win the lottery, it's somewhere down around here. So it's pretty unlikely. We could even put a dot way down here because it's a whole lot less than 50%. It's even less than 25%. So we can say the odds of winning the lottery are unlikely. And you can put the dot down here, way down close to 0, but not exactly at 0. Here's question number 3. Suppose that the chance of reaching into a bag of coins and selecting a quarter is 40%. Write the probability as a decimal and as a fraction, and we're even going to put that on our number line. We have 40%. How do we change a percent into a decimal? We're going to remove the percent sign, and we are going to put that decimal point 2 places away from the decimal point. So we have 0.40. So 40 hundredths, or 4 tenths. Let's write the fraction over here. 4 tenths is going to be written as 4 tenths. That's how we'll write it as a fraction. Now, where are we going to put 40% on the number line? We know that 50% is right here. So 40%, we would need to break up the space between 0 and 50% into 5 sections, fairly equally spaced. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 40% would be right around here. It's between 0 and 1, right? Or between 0% and 100%. Number 4. If there are 2 children in a family, there is a 25% chance that both children are boys, a 25% chance that both children are girls, and a 50% chance that one child is a boy and the other is a girl. Which is more likely, that both children are boys or that one child is a boy and the other is a girl? Let's figure this out by putting those numbers on the number line. There's a 25% chance that both children are boys. Well, 50% is right here, 0% is right here, and 25% is right in between. So 25% would go right in the middle. So this is the likelihood of having 2 boys. And it says 25% chance of having 2 girls. And a 50% chance that one is a boy and the other is a girl. 1 boy, 1 girl. Right here, 50% chance. Which is more likely, that both children are boys or that one child is a boy and the other is a girl? If we put this on the number line, we can clearly and easily see that it's greater chances that there is 1 boy and 1 girl. So on your extra line, write down around here, 1 boy, 1 girl. That's what's more likely because there's a 50% chance of having that. All right, let's look at question number 9. Now I know this jumps around a little bit. We're going to question 12. What is the probability of winning a game if the probability is 2/3? The probability of winning a game is 2/3. Well, where will 2/3 go on this number line? We have 0 down here, and we have 1 right here. So I'm going to ignore this 1/2, and I'm going to break this up into thirds. So 2/3 is right about here. How would I describe this? If it's 2/3, where does that fall in my impossible, unlikely, equally likely, likely, or certain levels? We can see that it is likely. It is more than 50%. It is likely. We are going to continue to work with probability in class. Be able to use the words likely, unlikely, equally likely, certain, and impossible. And be able to put the percents on a number line. Remember, like probability falls between 0% and 100%. See you in class. All right, we need to be able to write fractions and number lines. So let's look at this spinner. What fraction of the spinner is red? Well, we've got 2 of the 4 sections are red. 2 of the 4. So how do we write that as a fraction? Well, 2 is half of 4. We should be getting pretty good at knowing that that's 50%. 2 of 4, or 50%. 2 out of 4 can also be simplified to 1/2. What fraction is blue? 1 out of 4. 1 out of 4, 1 divided by 4. There's 0 4s in 1. Add a decimal point in a 0, a decimal point up in the quotient. How many 4s are in 10? 2. 4 times 2 is 8. Subtract that. We've got 2, add another 0. How many 4s are in 20? 5. 4 times 5 is exactly 20. We're at 0, so we're done. That is 0.25 or 25%. What fraction is green? 1 out of 4. Same as the blue, or 25%. What fraction is yellow? 0 out of 4 is yellow, or a 0% chance of landing on yellow. Let's mark these percents on the number line. So what is our chances of landing on red? They're half, 50%. That's our chance of landing on red. What are our chances of landing on blue? 25% or 1/4. Let's go ahead and break this half up into fourths, because 1/2 is the same as 2/4, and then we have 3/4. And down here, 1 over 1 or 4 out of 4, 4/4. The fraction of landing on blue is 1/4. It's the same as landing on green. And then what is the fraction of landing on yellow? 0 out of 4, or it's also 0 out of 1. Whatever the denominator in it is, it doesn't matter. We still have 0 out of that chance. So we have yellow. And we'll fill it in right here. All right, putting your percent, your decimals, on the number line helps you know and be able to see which is more likely to happen. It's more likely we end on red. Equally likely that we land on blue or green. If we take that information, we can make some predictions. We have a 2 out of 4 chance of ending on red. We have a 1 out of 4 chance of landing on blue, a 1 out of 4 chance of landing on green, and a 0 out of 4 chance of landing on yellow. If we spin that dial 4 times, what are the chances that we end on red? Twice. What are the chances that we land on blue? 1 out of 4. What are the chances of landing on green? 1 out of 4. What are the chances of landing on yellow? 0 out of 4. I needed my denominator to be 4, and it is, so I can easily see what my prediction should be. So let's go ahead and actually spin it. So we landed on red 1 time. Let's spin it again. Oh, we landed on red a 2nd time. We've got 2 spins left. Ooh, we landed on red a 3rd time. Slow spin, and we landed on blue once. So our actual does not always equal what our prediction is or what the theoretical is. The prediction is our theoretical probability. And the actual is our experimental probability. All right, we're going to do more practice with probability in class. Ready to write it as a fraction, ready to write it as a percent, ready to put it on a number line. See you in class as we do some more practice.